Hi guys, I'm Nate from Good Mayhem Racing. You are looking at a beautiful piece of 1/4 inch thick 50-52 aluminum, and I used it to make a skid plate on the back of the truck where the fuel cell resides. I also made some other stuff with it. However, the one thing I did not get to do for the Baja 1000 is make a new skid plate for the front. And this 3rd generation 4Runners skid plate definitely felt the pain in the Baja 1000. This here skid plate is 25 years old. It's got 283,000 miles on it, and that last 300 miles was no joke. Allow me to introduce you to the damage that existed before and after the Baja 1000. You see this weld right here and this one right here. These particular places did crack on the 4Runner after I added a differential drop kit. So the differential pushed into this spot here and into this spot here, and they gradually cracked over time around 50 or 60,000 miles or so. It was probably a stress corrosion crack, but everything that you happened around it is certainly new. So you see how this panel is bashed inwards this way and up, or I mean, realize this thing is upside down. So it had a lot of impacts throughout this section here, something that completely ate through this weld repair here and crumpled in this side. This particular skid plate was bashed in very hard on this back side and pushed upwards. So the skid plate is now practically separated except for the bolts holding on for dear life. Let's just say this is well used and broken. You can see by this oil stain here that we had an oil leak of some kind, probably from the differential or something on the left side of the truck. And that pattern is consistent when you actually flip it over like this. So the damage on the bottom side is a lot, but it's a lot more telling to figure out what actually broke the skid plate and then maybe parts of the truck when you look at the back side of a skid plate. So these bolts held, they did their job, which is great. These mounts tell a big story. The 4Runner had 3 bolting surfaces, but this middle one is dead. Like, even though Toyota had it in there, they never had a through hole for it, and there's really not a hole in the frame that mates up to it. This one, however, and this one, both of these had mounting surfaces, bolt holes. This bolt hole held. I actually had a bolt here. I did not have a bolt here, so this one could move around a lot more. When this one hit some very hard impacts, this just deflected out of the way and allowed it to squish up. So the damage is practically more severe on this side because this bolt was not restraining it correctly like the surrounding bolts. Of the bolts I did have mounted though, 2 in the front, 1 here, 2 in the back. You can see from all of this oil stain that we had something leaking pretty notably. It has kind of a spicy smell to it. I'm not sure what would that have been. Definitely not fuel. Maybe coolant? It doesn't smell like normal oil either. But up here, you can see that this impacted the front AC condenser, and that this whole skid plate got pushed in, flattened here and here. Since these bolts actually mounted the truck, since these two bolts are actually bolted into the truck and this one was not, this one had the ability to move just like this and push in. So the radiator goes right here, the AC condenser or AC radiator goes right there, and this was smushed up against it. Some pretty hard impacts. These tabs were not bent up at the time. I had to bend them out to remove the skid plate. But if you have a question or curiosity about why people buy aftermarket skid plates, and I hope all that was in view. This is why. Your skid plates take a beating. They take a lot of damage. They take a lot of heat. And this skid plate did its job. It's time to let it go in the scrap pile, let it be recycled and become better metal. I'm Nate from Good Man Racing. I will see you out in the desert, if not my garage. Like and subscribe for more.